opening statement after a weekend off. And
Yeah, weekend off, about to hit the road for 2 straight weeks, for 4 straight road games. Big one at App State. They don't lose at home. They're undefeated in conference at home. They only have one home loss, which was in overtime, I think, to Marquette. So, going to be a really tough environment. It's going to be their kids' day, and so we have 3 days to kind of continue to get better and be ready for a tough week.
What do you work on this week when you see a tough team like that? What do you tell your team? With so much more time now, so is it been more about yourself this week, or can you focus on them?
Yeah, it's been more about us. Last week we'll start our App State scout today, really guarding their stuff, guarding their actions. But they play fast, and I think they're going to want to get up and down. So it's pretty similar to what we already see every day in practice.
Is there a nickname you have for this time of year? Because it's kind of like there's certain parts of the year, but I think like early February to mid-February is kind of like you just got to maybe bust through the wall.
Yeah, and this is why this little change up in schedule has been kind of nice, because they're usually just like the dog days of February. It's routine, it's monotonous, everyone gets a little bit bored. So we had a little shake-up, which was nice for us. We had an early game, and then we had a little time off, and now we just kind of have to get through the last chunk of our schedule.
Earlier in the season, you for a big road trip, you'd have been a little more confidence now going on the road.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, our preseason helped us for this. And we were on the road a lot, and we're used to being on the road. It's been really, really nice being at home, but it's nothing we haven't done multiple times before.
Was there anything you did different? You want to keep to your routine, but did you try to freshen up a little bit and still keep it in the routine? Anything fun or?
We did the Night to Shine prom as our community service event on Friday night, so we got to move our practice up and we got to go do that event. An amazing event. Our girls had a great time. I'm really proud of them. Just represented our program really well, and so that was a very good use of our time while we were home.
Yeah, it was kind of kids' day, kind of like what you had.
Yeah.
Maybe playing that's the next game from what you kind of did on last Wednesday might maybe help you guys.
I think we know what to expect a little bit, and I think that when you say, hey, it's kids' day, that they'll realize it's going to be a tough environment. It's going to be a loud environment in a place that's already hard to play. And it's a doubleheader, so their men play right after us, and so it's just one thing on top of another.
When it is that loud, do you do anything to compensate for that? Because if they can't hear you,
Yeah, I don't know that they can ever really hear me anyway. But I think that they just have to do a better job of repeating things and repeating the play and being locked in. And it's fun, you get the adrenaline when they're screaming for you, maybe not so much when they're screaming against you. And so it'll be completely different on the road.
Last couple weeks of the regular season coming up, do you guys kind of realize what's in front of you, or do you use that as motivation, or do you just kind of pay attention to it?
You just got to do things one game at a time. And we have just talked about this little break. We just have to get better. We just have to use this time to get better. And we've done a lot, but we don't want to be done yet. And so we just have to keep one game at a time and just keep doing what we've been doing.
You just for opponents, but do you ever install anything radically new at this point in the season?
No.
We see what we get.
Yeah, what you see is what you're going to get. We're going to practice a couple little things here and there just because we've had time. But you don't really want to change up too much at this point. You just want to keep getting better at what you're doing.
I know you touched on it being an off week for you all, but especially with your style of play, getting a weekend and getting away and getting legs fresh again, it's a luxury that no other team in the conference has. Is that something you are looking to utilize and kind of a blessing in disguise?
We're really not. We, if anything, have practiced harder. And so there's two ways you can look at it. You can rest, you can recover, or you can get in better shape and you can turn it up a notch. And we chose to turn it up a notch. And so we're going to try to get in better shape. We're going to try to get better with skill. We're going to try to get better as a team. And so their practices have been about 2 hours of nonstop full court drills. And today will be another one. And then we'll start to taper down. So we'll see if that was the right thing to do or not. But you don't want to rest right now. We'll rest when it's over.
What did you do in that period of time between your loss and your next home game that All of a sudden, your kids look like they're completely regenerated.
Yeah, I think that's what losses will do to you sometimes. They'll humble you really quickly, and you'll go back and watch the film. And we watched our JMU film, and then we watched some old film of ourselves, and we said, this is not what we look like anymore. We look a step slow. We look a little bit complacent. We're not doing the things we used to be doing. And so we had 2 hard practices, and I think it paid off. And again, when you have adrenaline like that, hats off to the fans and the kids that were there, because they just made us play a lot harder.
Who's stepping up for you to make sure that you don't go back to the old ways? Is there anyone that's starting to maybe take over, stand out a little bit for you in your mind that's, can be sort of that floor general for you?
Yeah, I think, like he said, anytime you get to February, your seniors really just have to step up. They have 3 weeks left. They have 6 games left. They have 16 practices left, and then they don't ever get to do this again. And that's all we know in this room. Life changes when you get out of college. They don't know that yet, but just trying to get them to put everything they have into the last little bit that they have.
Have they picked up that as a motivation, do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think our seniors had a really good week, and I think when they play well and they practice hard, everyone else follows.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you, guys.